good morning and welcome back to the class. We are continuing with data handling. We had begun with the graphing of the pie charts. We have just done one example. Today we will take up example 2 and try to do along with me. All right, because yesterday you have had practice of drawing the circle and marking the central angles. So today the tabulation followed by the pie chart, you will do it along with me. Though I am recording it, try doing it along with me so that you understand how those tabulations are to be made first, and then later on how those central angles can be marked in the circle to divide the circle into smaller sectors which will represent all your data as a single pie chart. All right. So I think I'll go and share my video. I'm just continuing with the same video which I had played yesterday. Yeah, somebody wants to tell something to me. What is that? Okay, are you seeing my screen? Please pin my screen so that it is not lost when somebody else is speaking. All right, okay, so we shall start. I have to mute. So we will now go back to our
No, it's stopped.
Sorry. Just coming back. Just wait for 1 minute. 1 minute, huh? One minute, Chelena. I think I lost that video. I'll have to retry it. 1 minute. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. Don't move out, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen again. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
PowerPoint to see how we can make one more pie chart, because I think we have ample time. So we will go back there.
We have around 15 minutes to check all these things.
Yes, we can definitely take up a pie chart. Now you should do it faster along with me.
Yep.
This is a very nice data which all of you will be having, because it is again that data on how you use your time in your house for various activities that you do.
Right.
So this is problem 2.
Okay.
Draw a pie chart for the data given below. The time spent by a child during a day.
Okay.
So how many hours does a day have?
Okay, so it shows 8 hours for sleep, 6 hours for
No,
school.
how many hours does a day have?
Oh, total 24 hours?
24 hours. So all those 24 hours are divided amongst all these activities. You have to confirm that. First sum up all these 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. Definitely it's 24. So
Okay.
those 24 hours is represented as your complete circle. And in that complete circle, there are these respective hours which are spent for these activities. So we will see how we can tabulate this first. The first step is to bring this data in the tabular form, representing it as a fraction first of the entire circle, and then getting the central angle. So we'll go and see how we can build this tabular. You should be taking down that tabular column. Do I have to show it again? Should I show the tabular column again, or this is enough if you can write this down? Because this is the hours spent by a child on various activities during the day. So sleep, school, homework, play and others are given as 8, 6, 4, 4 and 2. So this is the information given to me. Now I have to find out the fraction of time spent for each activity and then convert this fraction to the central angle. So this step you should be able to do. I think I'll pause for 2 minutes so that you can prepare the tabular column. Yes, somebody was speaking.
Ma'am, first we do this.
Yeah, first you have to prepare the tabular column. Only then you can draw the pie chart. Do it quickly.
Okay.
So because the sleep is covered in 8 hours, you take 8 hours for sleep. So 8 out of 24, that is 8 by 24, because in a day, in all we have 24 hours, out of which 8 is spent for sleeping. So the fraction of time spent on sleeping will be 8 by 24, which is nothing but 1 by 3. Similarly, the second one is the hours spent in school. So out of 24 hours, it is given that 6 hours are spent in the school. So the fraction of time spent in school will be 6 by 24, which is 1 by 4. Then in homework, we spend 4 hours. So 4 out of 24 is 1 by 6. Again, playtime is 4 hours. So 4 by 24 is 1 by 6. And the other activities that you have to complete at home, you spend 2 hours on them. So 2 out of 24 is 1 by 12. Now, once the fractions are ready, we know we can convert it into the central angle by multiplying the fraction with 360. All right. So 360 divided by 3 is 120. 360 divided by 4 is 90. 360 divided by 6 is again 60. Again, 360 divided by 6 is 60. And 360 divided by 12 is 30 degrees. So all our central angles are ready now.
The data.
Okay.
So the tabulation again here is the same as you have done in problem 1. The activities are sleep, school, homework, play and others. So the time spent on each of these activities is given to us already as 8, 6, 4, 4 and 2. So these are the hours spent for these individual activities that we have quoted. Now, what fraction of the complete day is each of this activity is what we have to find out. Why should we find that fraction? Because we have to represent it as a part of the entire circle. And what have we taken the entire circle as? As a complete day, which consists of 24 hours. So, out of the 24 hours, 8 hours is spent sleeping. So, what fraction of the complete day is spent on sleeping? How will I find it out? I'll just have to divide 8 with 24. So 8 with 24, when I divide it, I get 1/3. So I have to remove 1/3 of the circle and say that portion of the circle is representing the sleep time. So how do I remove that sector? I should have the central angle.
Yes.
And what portion of the central angle should I remove? It is out of the 360, the 1/3 has to be removed. So 1/3 of 360. Means 1 by 3 into 360 will give me a 120 degrees. So that is the central angle for my first activity, which is the sleep. Now coming to the second activity, the school time, 6 hours. 6 out of 24 hours will be 6 divided by 24. So 1/4 of the circle has to be allocated for the school time. So 1/4 of the circle, if it has to be allocated, I have to remove that sector, making an angle of 1/4 of the total angle, which is 360. So 1 by 4 into 360 will make the angle equal to 90 degrees. Coming to the homework, 4 hours. 4 hours is what fraction of the complete day? 4 divided by 24, which becomes 1 by 6. So 1 by 6 multiplied with 360 is going to give me a 60 degrees. So the central angle with respect to the activity of homework is going to be 60 degrees.
Right.
Coming to the play, again 4 hours, because it is the same 4 hours as the homework. It will be 4 by 24, which is equal to 1 by 6. 1 by 6 into 360 makes it a 60 degrees. Then the last item or the activity that we have is the culmination of all the other activities that you do, that is amounting to 2 hours. So 2 hours out of 24 will be 1/12. So 1/12 of the entire 360 degrees has given it to me as 30 degrees.
Right.
So once this tabulation is ready, the next step is very obvious. We have to draw the circle, mark all these central angles as I have shown you in the previous example. So, and then once the sectors are divided, our pie chart is ready.
Yes.
So that's exactly what we shall do now. So we will get back to our pie chart and see how we are able to get it.
Yes.
So this is how your pie chart will look after you have divided the sectors. So now I think without much explanation, I'll be just clicking on the tool which will allow you to draw the pie chart. So we will
Okay.
quickly start. What is the first step? If we are able to recall, pie chart is a circular graph. So definitely you should have the circle. So this is how we are going to draw our circle. So take any convenient radius in your compass
Okay.
and draw the circle. This is the background of the entire pie chart that we are going to draw.
Okay.
So once the circle is ready, what I want is the center. So I have located the center as O.
Okay.
Then the next step will be to draw the radius of the circle, which will allow me to divide the circle into the sectors. So to get that radius, I mark a point on the circumference. So I locate that point on the circumference, mark the point. Next step would be I join them using a line segment. Can you see the line segment is drawn?
Yes.
The next step, you have to locate the central angle with respect to the first activity, which is the sleep hours, which represents 8 hours. And hence we have found that fraction which amounts to 8 hours multiplied to get the central angle, which has become equal to 120 degrees.
Okay.
So see, the 120 is marked. You should be very careful when you keep your protractor.
Yes.
Along OP, you want an obtuse angle which is 120. So 0 starts here, you go to a 90, 120. So that is marked there. So once the 120 is ready, the second radii has come.
Yes.
Once that radius is drawn, again, the point of intersect has to be located, marked and labeled also. So that
Okay.
is labeled as A. So the second radius has come now, OA. So the area between these two radii is going to be my first sector, which represents the sleep hours. So, and what was this angle that I had at the center? It was equal to 120 degrees, which I will mark again here. So mark that 120 there. Once your sector is ready, what's the next step? You have to beautifully shade it to show that this portion of the circle between the two radii, OA and OP, is going to represent the activity of sleep, which
Yes.
is given as 8 hours in my tabulation. So you can label it also to show that this purple region represents the sleep activity which runs for 8 hours. So what
Okay.
should be the next step? Now you all should be doing it with me. Should not be a problem at all. See, you are marking the next angle, the central angle for the next activity, which we have taken as 90 degrees.
Yes.
We have calculated this as 90 degrees using our fraction, because my school hours was 6. 6 out of 24 multiplied by 360 has given me a 90 degrees, which I am marking here. Once my 90 degrees is ready, the third radii has come now. OP was there, OA is there, and now I have the next one, which is OB. So the central angle is 90, corresponding to the activity of school time, which is again colored
6
and
hours.
labeled as school time, and it is said it is the second sector. Can you see?
Yes.
The sleep is definitely bigger than the school, because
Yes.
sleep hours was 8, whereas the school hours were only 6. So that is why I said the area of the sector corresponds to the amount of fraction allocated for a particular activity. This
Right.
is the real comparison when you draw a pie chart.
Okay.
So moving on, the next step, we have the homework which runs for 4 hours. So 4 by 24 into 360, we have got that angle as 60 degrees, which you are marking. So my next radius will come now. Already I have OB. Now the next one I will draw. Again, the point of intersect there will be your point, which has to be located there as C. So
Okay.
mark the angle between OB and OC that you have drawn as 60 degrees. Once the sector is ready, the coloring is complete and the labeling is to be done. So the homework is a smaller sector you are seeing because it is having only a fraction of 4 hours. Can you see? Proportionately, the sector, the size is reducing. The angles are also reducing because the angles are exactly that fraction of the complete angle of 360 degrees. Then the next one, which is the play hours, again it is 4 hours.
4 hours,
So you will
yes.
get exactly the same size as that of the
Homework. Yes.
So you will have the same 60 degrees marked here.
Yes.
So that's drawing the next radius that I will be locating as the point of intersect between the circumference and the radius. Locate it there and mark it as D. So OC and OD, the angle between them, you will write it as 60. Once the sector is ready, you know what you have to do. Shade it, label it as the play time and say that is equal to 4 hours. So can you guess what is the remaining angle that has to be there? The remaining angle is the last part which corresponds to the other activities, taking a share of 2 hours from the entire 24 hours. So the central angle has to be 30. You can sum up also and see. 120, 90, 60 and 60 is done. So
Yes.
what is already done is 330 degrees is done. So the last part will complete the 360.
Yes,
So
and it
this
will be
angle
automatically a
should be
30-degree angle.
30 degrees,
Yes.
correct. So you can verify this. You can keep your protractor and verify. Definitely it should be a 30 if you have drawn it correctly and all
Yes.
your calculations have been pakka.
Yes, I
Can
have
you see?
tried. I have
It-
tried this thing with you, and you can see.
Okay.
So
Very
this
nice.
is this is my circumference, and I have noted down O and then R, because I will get 5 total A H U L, so I can make my name as well.
Very good.
So this is why I have tried
That's very nice.
without the protector.
Okay, oh, that's very nice. But children have to use their protractor because
Yes,
these are all
yes.
technical aspects of
Yes,
maths that
this
we
is
have to
this is just
do
an
using
example
the
for you
specific-
students, my dear students of class 8. This is the interesting session of data handling, and you can easily know and draw all these things at your home. This is
Yeah.
just a practical I have shown you because I knew how to do this, but you have to learn from Miss Harini, as she's trying really hard to get these things done easily for you. So yes,
Yeah.
please proceed. We have 4 more minutes.
Yeah, I just have a small assignment for you because you have learned the pie charts today without anybody's help. With all that information I've been trying to give you.
Okay.
See, these are 2 more problems, very interesting ones. You have to show them as pie charts.
Yeah, I hope you could have completed the second pie chart also along with me. Now, these are 2 other problems I want you to complete in your classwork itself. All right. So these 2 problems you can take down, and you have to prepare the tabular column, which will have the fraction as well as the central angle. Once you get the central angle, you should use that to create your pie chart, and then do the shading and the labeling as I have been showing you in the previous 2 problems. Do you think you'll be able to complete this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these 2 problems, maybe you can note down a little later, because anyway, I'm going to send you.
No, but where is the total if we see, ma'am?
Total, you
Total
can do it
number of
now alone.
members?
You can add all the entries given there, the number of pairs of shoes sold. You can add
Okay,
130,
ma'am.
120, 90, 40, and 20. That is what you have to do a little more, one extra step where the total you have to find out, because unless you have the total, you can't find the fraction. Because for the fraction, you must have the total number of shoes sold. Similarly, in the second problem, number of animals of each variety is given. You should find out total number of animals in the zoo, which will allow you to find how many, the fraction of deer compared to the entire population of the zoo. So total tumba important. Total ilde pie chart shuru madodakke agala. So if the total is not already given in the problem, you require to find the total before you proceed to make the column on the fractions. Because fraction ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ denominator ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ total ಇರಬೇಕು. Total problem ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ well and good. Otherwise, you have to do the totaling and get it for the denominator. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think I'll stop the share now. I have one more video where we shall be discussing how to read the information from a pie chart. If now what we have seen so far is we have been able to draw a pie chart for a given data. So if the data is given, we just learn how to create a pie chart. Now, if a pie chart itself is given to you and you are asked a few questions in that, you should be able to read it from the pie chart and give the correct answers. So that is the practice we are going to take up next. So I'm going to share the
Ma'am,
second
as we
video
have seen the
now.
bar graphs and double bar graphs, which is the portion which covers more percentage of the circle, it will be the more, and which is the less, it is the less. We can do it like that now, ma'am.
Yes, is correct because proportionately the fraction depends on how many portions of the entire circle is taken by the particular activity. So they will be proportional. So if the hours spent on something is less, then the sector or the portion will be proportionately less. If the hours spent on a particular activity is very much large, then the sector, the area of the sector also will be large. All right. Yeah, shall we proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. It is.
The skill that you had to develop was to draw a pie chart for any given information in the form of a data. All right. So in the hope that at least today you will go back and view the video and complete the pie chart. Now I am going on to the exercise 5.2 in your textbook. This is in page number 82. I hope you have your textbooks with.
What is the doubt, Kushala? You are asking about some homework questions. What is it?
Ma'am, in the previous video, you gave two homeworks, no, ma'am.
That you have to complete in the classwork itself. Yesterday's video, I had told to try these questions, that is 6 graphs. That is for your portfolio activity in white sheets. ಇವತ್ತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ 2 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕು 5 ಚಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು. All right. Are you asking me should I leave a gap in the notebook? Are you trying to ask that?
Yes, ma'am.
No need. Today you continue with this, what I'm doing now. Later on, you can do the pie chart. No harm. Because you don't know how much space you have to leave there. No. ಅದು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ. Mostly I may be asking you to use the textbook. So just hold on. Don't leave any pages in between. You can continue after this video is done. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we shall resume.
You because now we are going to look at the pie charts and try to gather information from it. All right. So for those who do not have the textbook, I am trying to present the textbook here. Are you seeing my screen with the textbook presented there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, practical geometry notes where we want to write.
I didn't get you. Please come again. What is that?
Ma'am, practical geometry notes where we want to write, ma'am. Ma'am, in rule book or unruled book, ma'am.
There's only single book, my dear, for maths. You choose it is a ruled or it is an unruled. I think I told this in the beginning when you started. I gave you a choice because I didn't want to insist that you have to write in unruled book only. But when you come to construction or when you come to graphical representation, you would have felt the need of an unruled book. So that's why you are asking this question, I can understand. But you have already started in a ruled notebook. Now don't shift to a new notebook. Just continue in the same. All right. Also, I actually, when we are face to face in the classroom, we do our construction in the record itself. I think I asked you to do it also in the record. Did I not tell you?
Yes, ma'am. You told activities in notebook we should
Activity
do.
book only you maintain because I have the convenience of a left-hand side where it is unruled. I can do the construction, and later I have the ruled side where I can write the steps of construction or the procedure. So there is no different notebook. Otherwise gives a scope for guess, which we don't want always to happen. So objective type may contain a few MCQs, but all of them need not be MCQs at all. Clear? This is very similar things that I can ask in the practical geometry also as a theory question. 5 different measurements which are absolutely required to construct a quadrilateral. A 4 may look at the chart and tell me what kind of music do you think is liked by maximum number of people?
Light music.
How did you suddenly tell this answer to me?
Ma'am, because most of the circle is
Okay, don't be wondering why the video is skipping. I am only skipping it because I am talking about practical geometry. I thought that is not required here. I hope you have opened your textbook and you have reached the exercise corresponding to what I am telling. Which is this exercise I am talking about? Are you having your textbooks with you or not? You must be having it. Please don't always rely on me to project the textbook here and show it to you. Which exercise are we talking about?
Ma'am, exercise 5.2.
In page number?
5.2, ma'am.
In page number?
Ma'am, 82.
Yes, are you there at page number 82? Because we are looking at the pie chart in the textbook and trying to answer the questions related to the pie chart which is asked. All right, so keep your books with you because you need to write it there only. We are not going to draw the pie chart again in the notebook and rewrite the questions. That is a huge loss of time. So to make your job easier only I am trying. So have your textbooks with you and follow what I am saying there. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, ma'am.
Covered by light music.
Yes. Can you see the area of the circle which is labeled as light music? It is 40% of the total circle. That is the biggest portion of the circle. Do you understand? That light music. Can you see it there? I'll just show it. See, this is the one. This part.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I think I can annotate also if required. Let me see. Just give me 1 minute. See, this portion is what I'm talking about. This is the 40% of the entire circle, which is the portion of people who like the light music. And which is the kind of music liked by minimum number of people? Tell me.
Classical.
Yeah, how did you again suddenly tell that? Because that is the smallest portion. Can you see I'm talking about this portion? I have marked it in blue there. So that is the smallest portion. Visibly, it is clearly giving me the information that the largest portion is light music and the smallest portion of the entire circle is classical music, right? So these are some information we can quickly draw by looking at the pie chart. That's why the pie chart is a very useful way of representing or putting the data so that we get meaningful information in a very quick manner. Now let us go and see what are the questions which we have in that. So let me go there. Okay, the first question is, from this pie chart, answer the following. If 20 people liked classical music, how many young people were surveyed? So they are telling that 20 people can like classical music. So what percentage is the classical?
10%.
10%. 10% of the entire 100% is classical lovers. Okay, I think this is moved away. Okay, I'm not worried about this screen sharing. Is anyone not having a textbook? Otherwise, I'll go back to the board. Do you all have your textbooks with you?
Yes, ma'am.
We have.
I will stop share and then I'll come back to the board only. Let me go back to the board so that you are more conveniently looking at me more than the screen there. Now, we already have from the pie chart that 10% of the entire circle are classical music liking people. Now, the question is, if 20 people liked classical music, how many young people were surveyed? What is the total number of people who were surveyed? How will you find this? Any idea?
Ma'am, in the pie chart it is
Only
given by
percentage is
percentage.
given to me. That
Ma'am,
is
in the pie
10%
chart it is
like
given by
classical,
percentage.
20% like.
Yeah, Arun, what is that?
Ma'am, in the pie chart it is given by percentage. Here it is given in 20.
20 refers to the number of people. 10% is the percentage of this 20. This 20, when it is put on the entire population of the people, it is amounting to 10%. 20 is the exact number of people who like the classical music. The 10% represents among the complete population. These 20 people amount to, or they make 10% of the entire population. Actual number and percentage will be different. All right. How do you get percentage? You get it as a fraction. What is that fraction? Actual number divided by the total population. Following, Arun? They are not the same. The actual number is exactly the counting numbers who like the classical music. Our classical music lovers, Anna, if you want to represent as a percentage, what you will do? You will take 20 divided by total population. That will give you the fraction. That multiplied with 100 will give you the percentage of music lovers in the complete population. Did you get what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. We will get. Sorry. I think I'll take 2-3 more minutes and complete, because this entire video I can't play today. There are 3 examples I think I am discussing. At least this we shall try to complete. Can I get another 5 minutes?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like semi-classical, 40% like light music and 30% like folk music. Now, based on this percentages, I have to go and find out what is the total number of people who are surveyed. Now, classical music. People who like classical music is 20%. That's what we get from the pie chart. So 20% means it is 20 by 100 into the total number of people. Let X, suppose we don't know how many people are getting surveyed. So let X.
Okay, I have a confusion. My textbook says 20% only. Is your textbook telling 10%? This is what
Yes,
Arun
ma'am.
was trying to clarify.
Yes, ma'am.
Classical, it is shown as 10%.
10%, I don't know. My old textbook shows me 20%. Okay, don't worry about that. We'll just follow the question as I am.
Yeah, ma'am. In the some of the last videos which you have sent,
maybe there is some difference.
differs, ma'am.
Maybe I am using an old textbook, no? So maybe don't worry about that data. See, follow what I am telling, because I don't know there is a changed version in your new textbook. All right. So I think we will stop here, because if I take up the problem also, it will take another 5-10 minutes. So I think I'll stop my share. And I'll stop my recording also.